Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. Well, this might be a short video because what's there to talk about? I mean, nothing is going on, right? Well, I shouldn't say nothing because by the end of the day today, the stock market tanked. Crypto and Bitcoin kind of held its own, right? It didn't go down as much as the stock market. And we're going to talk about why I think the stock market went down. My theory. It's a theory. We'll see if I'm right. But so really, nothing that I've told you the past several weeks has changed. I'm still looking at the same levels. I'm still waiting for the same things. So we'll look to where we've been and hopefully to where we're going. And if that sounds good to you, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment, give me anything, because I do this for you. I do this to try to bring you the best things to check for in the market daily, the best markers to watch out for, the best information to digest in your own for your own portfolio purposes, right? So I'm doing this for you. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment, and I love sharing this journey with you. So let's dive right into what happened in the stock market today, because it was ugly. Look at that. NASDAQ down 2 3/4, the Dow down 2, the S&P down 2.5, and maybe the biggest thing, right? The DXY up 103 up to 103.31. Look at this. It was down today. It went down to 102.15, and so here's some truth for you, right? I think pretty much every single thing I've told you that I think is going to happen has happened since I've been doing these videos for 5 weeks. Pretty much to a T. Well, this one I kind of got wrong, at least for one day. One day I wouldn't say I got it wrong yet, but it's wrong. We'll just say that. I told you yesterday in the video there's two things to watch out for this week, right? The DXY and the CPI numbers that come out at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow before the stock market opens. And I told you yesterday when the DXY was like 102.5 that I thought it was gonna reverse course and start going back down to the 100 level. Well, it did. It started going down at the beginning of the day. I thought, hey, I nailed another one until the end of the day. And we'll talk about why I think that might be happening. But, so it ended up today 103.5 almost. So far I've gotten that one wrong so far. And hey, if you appreciate the honesty, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment, because I will be truthful with you, and I'll always try to do that. And I'll toot my own horn, but I'll also take ownership of the missed calls as well. So far I'm wrong, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna keep. I still believe it's gonna go down, but maybe we just had a one-day detour, so we'll see. But what do I think is happening, right? So the stock market, let's talk about that real quick. So again, the stock market tanked at the end of the day. Look at that. So the DXY at the end of the day, ladder up. Look at that. Ladder straight up. Whereas the NASDAQ, look at that. At the end of the day, shoots down, shoots in ladders. Look at that. Just tanked at the end of the day. Well, what happened? What happened? What do I think happened? There was the CPI numbers come out tomorrow, 8:30 before the stock market opens, and I think the consensus number is 8.3. That's what I've seen most, across the board is 8.3 people are expecting. Well, the rumor came out, I think, today, and I heard in a few places that the number's going to be worse than expected, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, somewhere in there, right? And if that happens, then I think we might be in for a rough patch here. The stock market might tank more tomorrow. Crypto might go down a little bit more tomorrow if the number's worse than expected. But here's my hopium. Here's my, I'm a half glass full kind of person. Hopium, keep your nose to the grindstone, one step in front of the other, outwork your competition, all those metaphors that people use to describe, how they see the world, right? Well, my hopium is, and my personal belief is those rumors don't come from any, just nowhere, right? Somebody crafts them. Somebody that is trying to sway the market crafts them. Well, did it work? Right? Look at that. It tanked at the end of the day. Did it work? Did the rumors work? The CPI numbers are going to be worse tomorrow. Did it work? Well, yeah, the market tanked. So was this just a move by big money to get people, just FUD the last remaining people out of the market? Because it's just been a disaster for 7 months in the stock market and in crypto. So is this the last gasp of the big money to FUD as many, it's the last remaining people out of the stock market, out of crypto, grab as much cheap stocks as possible, as much cheap coins as possible before the CPI number actually comes in lower than expected tomorrow and the market moves up? Hey, head fakes are not uncommon in the stock market or in crypto especially. Head fakes they happen all the time. So, you know, the big money sends the stocks or the crypto down before they reverse course and start snapping up all the you know, as many shares or cryptos as they can. Or it works in reverse too. They send it up a little bit, get as many people excited and buying, and they're, oh, we're so excited, the stock market's going up, crypto's going up, and then they tank it, right? And FUD all those people out in the end. Is that what's happening? Possibly. I mean, let's see, look at tank today. Is that the head fake? Is all that red head fake? And tomorrow CPI comes in at 8.2, 8.1, 8, 7.9. 7.9 would be my ideal. A 7 in front. Ooh, that would just flip everybody out, right? And we'd see green everywhere. Is it head fake? Maybe. I'm thinking that might happen. We'll see. So I beg you, keep an eye open for the CPI numbers tomorrow. It's going to be key. But let's look at what's happening in crypto. And we'll start with Bitcoin here, right? Bitcoin, our famous Bitcoin. Look at our chart. Now, just for people that are new here, right, that haven't watched me before, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of where we've been. Now, I started this channel like 5 weeks ago. So back here, you know, somewhere like May 8th, 7th, somewhere in there. And right before the Terra Luna dump, you know, we just got dumped on. But I brought on May 11th, you know, way back here, see my red line going from left to right, sloping down? On May 11th, way back here, I brought to my channel here, I said, I don't think we're going to go below this support line. This support line, for if you're new here, I won't make you watch the video. Go back to May 11th and watch that video. Before we even got to that support line, I said, I think we're going to hold there. This support line goes back over a year. Well over a year, like a year and a half. And I told my channel, I told the people, the 2 people that were watching me at the time, that I don't think we're going to go below that support line. And how did it work out? How did that support line work out? I mean, look at this chart. Look at it. We closed right above it on May 11th when I brought it to the channel. The next day we wicked way down below it, right? Look how far that wick goes down. But we closed on top of it. But we closed on top of it, you know, we stayed above it the next day. And then look at, I mean, we closed up, you know, right on top of it on May 18th. We wicked down to it on May 27th. Look at that. I mean, it's just beautiful. And then we started moving up. And on my channel, on May 30th, this first big green candle right here, right? On the way up, before we even got to this blue line, the blue line at 31.3 right there, I brought it to the channel again. I brought it to the channel again and said, that 31.3 level is key. We need to beat that. We need to get above that 31.3 and hold it for 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And then we can move up to 37. That's always what I've been watching for. Sorry. So look, before we even got up to it, I said 31.3 is key. And what happened? We got above it. The next day, look at this. On May 31st, we were above it and we wicked right down to 31.3. We held it until June 1st, and then we went below it significantly. But look at this. I mean, I've been telling you about 31.3 ever since May 30th. And then look at, on June 6th, we went right up to it, got rejected. And so 31.3 has been just such a key level. And again, I brought that to my channel and told you it was a key level. And I still think it's a key level. And I still think that's the gateway to 37. So if you appreciate that, if you appreciate the fact that I gave you the support line, if you appreciate the fact that I gave you 31.3 and that still believe that 31.3 is important, then give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, give me some love, because that's the type of information, that's the type of markers that I hope to bring to you, to the channel, to help you in your portfolio analysis and determining what you need to do for your own own financial well-being. So I hope that those types of things help you, and I strive to bring only the best content, the best markers for you to watch in doing your own portfolio analysis. So that's kind of Bitcoin, right? Is we're still, I'm still watching these same levels. So, and the other thing I brought to the channel, right, is I told you 29.4 is an important level. 29.4, look at it. I've been telling you that for weeks, right about there, 29.4. I said we need to keep closing these dailies above 29.4, right at this first green candle up, back here on May 30th. I said, okay, now that we got to this level, we need to maintain the 29.4 level every day. We need to retain 29.4, and it's worked out perfectly. We haven't closed the daily below 29.4. So here, that's what I'm watching for. We'll just cover it real quick here. So we need to close today above 29.4. That's what I'm watching for, right? And right now, what are we sitting at? 30,100. If we don't close above 29.4, then I'm afraid, right, we might have to revisit this support line. Right now it's at 27.23, somewhere in there, right? 27.200, 27.300, somewhere in there. So finish above 29.4. If we don't finish above 29.4, I'm afraid we might go down to that red support line. But I'm still of the opinion that we're going to stay above 29.4. Okay, that's the first thing. Stay above 29.4. Then again, we need to get up to 31.3. We need to pass 31.3 and hold it. And if we do that, I think we go to 37, way up here, before we ever come down and revisit my support line down here, wherever that may be at the time. And if we can if we can do that, get above 33 and hold it, 31.3 and hold it, and get up to 37, maybe we never come down and revisit that support line again. Maybe. We just have to, reanalyze everything as it moves along. So again, those are the markers that I'm watching for in Bitcoin. Okay. So if you appreciate that analysis, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment. I try to reply to comments whenever possible. So, I love following your journey as well. So appreciate that. So that's Bitcoin. That's what I'm watching for Bitcoin. How about ADA, right? ADA. Let's look at how things are looking on our hypothesis here, right? So those that have been following me since the beginning of the channel know that my hypothesis is that any new money put into ADA will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin by the end of the year, by 1 year from now, and by 5 years from now. And any new money put into ADA and Ethereum will outpace Bitcoin on those same time frames. Well, how's that looking so far, right? ADA, so we've done it for 5 weeks, $100 each week, 5 weeks. So we put $500 into each of these so far. ADA, it's the only one in green, right? It's the only one in profit. That $500 is turned into $554. That $500 for Bitcoin is turned into $493 on Ethereum, lagging big time, $445. So again, if you appreciate the fact that I alerted you to the ADA, that ADA is going to outperform those, give me a like, give me a subscribe. But that's not even the most important thing I told you about ADA, because I'd said by the end of the year. Well, it was about a little over a week ago when I caught wind of a chart in ADA, and I said, this is the most bullish chart in crypto, right? Let's look at that real quick. The most bullish chart in crypto. So it's the ADA versus BTC chart, ADA versus Bitcoin chart. And I look at the Coinbase chart, right? Okay. And I like to do the weekly. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay. So look at this. It's still the most bullish chart in crypto. So I told you about this level, or this chart, when it was right about there, right before we broke this resistance line. So it was about one ADA at this point was 0.000019 Bitcoin at the time I told you about this. So, in this green candle right here, before we broke this resistance line, I told you about this chart. Well, look at that. Now we're sitting at 0.00002104 Bitcoin. And when I did the math on that yesterday, that was like a 14% gain in a little over a week versus Bitcoin. So I told you I told you a little over a week ago that ADA was looking so bullish versus Bitcoin. And for example, I know on that day, I think on that day specifically, I took some of my Bitcoin and put it into ADA because I saw that chart and I was like, damn. And I brought it to you, to this channel, like immediately as soon as I found it. And so if you had taken one Bitcoin back, you know, a little over a week ago and put it into ADA, you're taking one Bitcoin from your portfolio and put it in ADA, that one Bitcoin would now be worth 1.13, 1.14 Bitcoin, right? If your goal is to stack sats, you couldn't beat that over the last week and a half since I pointed that out to you. So if you appreciate me bringing those types of charts to the community here, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment, right? Because that's the type of thing I try to strive for to bring to you. And you know, obviously Ethereum hasn't been doing so well. So, and before we do that, that's what I want to, you know, talk about, right? Is I brought that ADA chart to you because I saw something that to me was extremely bullish, and it wasn't going to be the end of the year. I was going to start right, you know, a little over a week ago. I said, you need to jump into this onto ADA because right now it's looking bullish versus Bitcoin. Well, I haven't brought an Ethereum chart, even though I think Ethereum is still going to outperform Bitcoin by the end of the year. I haven't brought an Ethereum chart to the channel here because nothing excites me. So if you know, I hope you appreciate that I'm not just throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks and then, you know, taking credit for the wins and not the losses, right? Nothing's excited me about Ethereum in the last several weeks, so I haven't brought anything to the channel. It just nothing intrigues me. But that when I saw ADA, I had to bring that to the channel. So if you appreciate that, you know, I'm trying to do what's best for myself, but also, you know, everybody that is watching me and this community I'm trying to build, because, you know, it's very important to me that I have integrity in what I'm presenting, and I'm not just throwing anything against the wall. So let's look at Ethereum real quick, because I was around with their chart, the chart today, and so when I'm looking at the Ethereum USD chart, and again on Coinbase, and so let's see, I had a blue line here. Where'd it go? Oh, there, yeah, I just took a second to appear. So it looks like my blue line's like at 1774, and right now Ethereum is at 1796. So, oh, and I like to look at the daily, sorry. So let's look at the daily. And so, you know, this blue line is huge. It's huge in Ethereum. You know, we went below it here on May 28th, but we went right back above it, and we've held it ever since. But look at this. I mean, look at this. Look how important this line is. This blue line, this horizontal blue line, it goes all the way back to here. Like, look at this. We went right down to it on July 21st last year, and in June of last year, like June 25th, 26th, we held it, and we even wicked down to it here, right, in May of last year, and we haven't been below it since March of last year. So, and then look, I mean, we held it, look at it, we glided right on top of it in March for a week or 2 weeks last year. You know, we glided right atop it, you know, in February last year. So this level is so important for Ethereum. It's huge for Ethereum. I think Ethereum needs to maintain the 1775 level. You know, and again, that level isn't exact. Right, I'm looking at the Coinbase chart, and, you know, other exchanges might have a slightly different number. You know, it might not be 1775, it might be 1780, 1777, whatever. So somewhere in that area, but I think Ethereum needs to maintain that level. Otherwise, you know, it might dump down pretty good. And again, this is all going to come down. I think the fireworks start tomorrow. The CPI number is going to be so key. So again, if you appreciate me not just throwing you an Ethereum chart and saying, hey, look at this, it might go up against Bitcoin, or it might go down against Bitcoin, or whatever, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to just bring anything to the community here. I want to just bring things that I see as just huge opportunities, and that ADA chart is, and it still is, and I'm still waiting for it to hit 0.00006, which would be a 3x from where I told you that I was going to start buying it, right? This isn't financial advice. You need to do what's right for you. You need to do your own research. But That's where I started buying it, 0.00002, and I'm waiting for 0.00006. And again, I'm not playing the short game. This isn't something that's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month. But by the end of the year, a year from now, I'm looking for that number. I'm looking for that 3x versus Bitcoin. Turn, one Bitcoin into 3 just by putting in data. It's awesome. So anyway, if you appreciate that, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, right? So just to wrap this all in a bow again, I think tomorrow is key. Today was boring until the end of the day. And again, I think it was the rumors, right? Again, we tanked at the end of the day in the stock market. Not so much in the crypto. Let's go back to BTC real quick. BTC, see how it's holding up here. Still a few hours left in the day. Yeah, 30,200. Kind of hanging in there, right? It hasn't done anything. So, the levels I'm watching for that. But here's what I think is important, right? The CPI numbers tomorrow. And if I'm right about this, I will put this on loop and play it for you a million times in the next few weeks. I think today was a head fake. The Hopium in me says today was a head fake. The market tanked because the rumors came out that the CPI number is going to be higher tomorrow. I think CPI comes in lower tomorrow. I think it comes in at 8.2, 8.1, 8.0, maybe 7.9 if we're lucky. Oh, 7.9, that would be kick butt. So I think it comes in lower tomorrow. Today was a head fake to squeeze as much out of the turn up as possible. Get as low, the big money is looking to scare the last few people out of the stock market. Scare as many people out of crypto that are left that they can scare out. And then CPI comes in lower. The Fed sees some light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe things start to reverse a little bit. We'll see. I might be wrong. You know what's probably going to happen? It's probably going to come in at right at 8.3, right at expectations. Everybody's going to be wrong, and we just muddle on here for another month or something. I don't know. We'll see, right? Tomorrow's key. Keep an eye open for those CPI numbers. That's it. That's all I have. I hope you appreciate this. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some love, give me a comment. I'll try to reply, and I value every single one of you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining this community. Thanks for sharing your journey. And that's it. I love you. Love and peace. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Have a good night.